Welcome to the Inspired by Adventure podcast, bringing you the adventure across the airwaves.
All right, good morning. Welcome to another episode of Cup of Joe with CEO. I'm Cole Watkins, and today we're sitting down with Aggressor Adventure CEO Wayne Brown, and got some new topics to talk to you guys about. Today is July 10th, and how you doing today?
Great. Thanks.
Yeah, so we've got a few things to talk about. The biggest thing that's going on in the world of Aggressor right now is our 40th anniversary special. So you want to talk a little bit about that and what we're doing for our guests?
Yes, absolutely. It's great having these little Cup of Joes to kind of update everybody on what's going on with Aggressor. There's always a ton going on, and it's nice to run these little podcasts to get it out there so everybody can hear directly, from me.
For sure.
So 40 years, Aggressor started in 1984. So great that the company has made it that long. Most companies don't make it past a couple of years. And we continue to grow. So it's been a great run so far. And, we see no reason that we won't continue to grow and have our 50-year anniversary in 10 years. And for our 40th anniversary, we looked at, what we could do for our customers. We hear a lot about payment policies. People want to know if they could, have a lower entry to booking their Aggressor, because sometimes they book out, a couple of years. So we changed our down payment, individual payment policy from 40% to 20%. So now they only have to put down half of what they used to.
That's great.
Until 90 days before their trip.
That's great. And the 40% off of you.
Yeah, we ran a special for 40% off, which is tough. I mean, that's a big discount, but we thought, such a milestone that we could run a 2-week promotion and let everybody book the trip of their lifetime for 40% off.
And that sale is going to be ending on Thursday, July 13th. So if you're seeing this before then, you might have a few more days left to try to get this this great discount, probably the biggest one we've ever done, right?
Absolutely.
All right, so you touched on the payment policy. We also have for the 40th anniversary, we're introducing a new club.
So we look at our customers and how many trips they've done quite frequently, and we had so many people that have been with us over 40 times that we decided, our last club was VIP Plus, which was 25 trips or more. We had so many people that was over 40, we thought it'd be great to tie into our 40th anniversary. So we started the Ambassador Club for people that have been with us 40 times or more. And there's additional perks, when they hit that milestone, or the ones that have already been there. We get all these new perks for being such loyal customers, and we appreciate it. Such great ambassadors for Aggressor.
Sure. Great name there too. Okay. Do you happen to know how many people are on that list off the top of your head?
It's a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool. Wow. All right. Good. All right. We have a few updates on some of the destinations. Some of them are in dry dock. Let's go ahead and move over to Plow Aggressor 2 right now.
So Plow Aggressor 2 went to a very, very extensive dry dock. I mean, we go to dry dock every 2 years, but it's not necessarily as extensive that we need to do. But every 10 years or so, it's time to really dig in and start overhauling engines and generators and tearing out parts of the yacht and redoing them and updating them. And so that's what the Plow Aggressor went to. A couple of months in dry dock, and they did a very extensive remodel on it and updating all the mechanicals and in the Philippines. And so now it's back in Palau, getting the final touches inside and be ready to go. It's going to be, obviously the boat's always been kept up, but it's, when it comes out of one of these extensive remodels, it's all refreshed and updated. And it's, just a great vessel.
That's the time to go.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. We also have some maintenance weeks going on with the Aggressor Safari Lodge and the River Cruise. Let's talk about ASL first.
So the Safari Lodge, again, they decided to do this past rainy season, decided to do an extensive maintenance time frame. So they resurfaced the pool. They redid the deck around the pool. They added a lot of covered sidewalks, and it's great how they do it in a traditional way that they have always done in Sri Lanka. So they laid the stone walks down from local quarries and rivers. They built the covered walkway out of local wood and thatched roof. We have pictures out there of them cutting the grass and bundling it up and tying it up there. And it's just a skill that they know how to do, and it adds a local element to the lodge.
Yeah, you're really taking it the whole culture and having stuff like that,
Exactly.
features like that.
Exactly.
Okay. And the Aggressive River Cruise.
Yeah, so the Nile Queen River Cruise is getting upgraded to a larger vessel. It's going to be 20 passengers. It's going to be beautiful. They are working to finish the interior right now. Egypt has a lot of religious holidays, which sometimes delays the completion of the work.
Okay.
It should be done this week. And taking our customers up and down the Nile and all the great artifacts that they can see out there.
That's a great trip especially if you guys have friends that are non-divers. That's the one I recommend to my friends. Great trip, affordable trip, great food, and great tours. You're going to learn something. It's going to be a little hot, but that's Egypt.
Yeah,
it is
our
nice.
Egyptologists that we have on board, the wealth of knowledge they have is just amazing.
Yeah, that's Superman. I'll give him a little shout out. He really is very talented at his craft. Let's also go talk about Aggressor Floating Resorts.
Yep. So as you probably heard, we started a new brand last year called Aggressor Floating Resort. So it's a new idea to have rather than staying in a hotel, you can come stay on the floating resort. So you can have your own yacht for the week, whether you're a diver or not. If you're a non-diver, there's every evening we come around with a piece of paper and say a list of things to do. So what would you like to do tomorrow? If you're a non-diver, you can go parasailing, you can go lay on the beach, you can go shopping, you can go out on desert tours, jeep tours,
that's what I'm
Bedouin
thinking.
tours. Yeah. If you're and you go snorkeling, you go beach combing. If you're a diver, we offer dives every day, so you can decide which days you might want to dive. If you want to dive every day, that's fine. If you're a non-diver, we can teach you how to dive. We have full course capability on board to teach a complete open water course.
Perfect.
And the yacht is back at the marina in the evening. So if you want to take a stroll around, do a little shopping at the local souks. It's just a great way to spend a week in Egypt without being at a hotel. And it's been going very well, and we're looking to adding some more of these around the world.
That sounds very fun, and it's a good segue to get people who have not tried the traditional liveaboard diving yet. Kind of good funnel for that, and you talk about getting new divers certified, so spouses, one that dives, one that doesn't. Maybe coming on the Aggressor Floating Resorts is a way to kind of let them dip their toes in.
Exactly.
No pun intended. And last topic today, we just returned from a great trip on the BVI Aggressor with Captain Casey Bent, and it was a great week. You want to tell us a little bit about your trip? Yeah,
so every year I reserve one of the Caribbean yachts for a little friends and family trip. This year we did the BVI Aggressor. The staff down there is doing an amazing job. Our Captain Casey from South Africa, great leader for everybody on board. The diving is great, Caribbean diving. Lots of wrecks down there, so we were able to partake of all of those that were available, and was able to certify my 10-year-old grandson this time. So
that's right. And he was iron diver too.
That's right. Did every dive during the week that was offered.
Yeah, so he's going to be his big head for a little while, bragging on that. But BVI is a great trip. One thing that's really cool about this, it's a young crew, and a very dominant female crew. Captain Casey, our first captain is female, Charlotte, and we've got Quinky, who's the cruise director. And a few others that were temp for the week. But it's great to see that presence of female captain and crew there. They're just doing a great job. They've got a new chef too that's been there for a little bit. Chef Brad, he's doing great, delicious food, kept us fed throughout the week, and just great diving and great wrecks and great sights.
Yeah, very, very internationally eclectic crew. So South African, Taiwan, UK,
Philippines,
Philippines,
Rodell,
very, very
hardworking engineer. Yeah. And then I didn't. One thing that took me by surprise when we were down there was just how mountainous and hilly it was. I knew it was going to be like that a little bit, but I didn't expect to have that picturesque scenery the entire trip.
Yeah, it's great coming up from a dive and being able to look out on the mountains when you surface. It's just different scenery than most people are used to coming up from a dive.
And one thing that is different about the BVI Aggressor is the tender diving. And so it's a little bit different than our Caribbean destinations where you can easily step off the boat, but you're getting a little bit more of an experience. It's more similar to how you're going to be diving in the Red Sea and some of these other Pacific destinations when you're actually taking the tender out. So you get a little practice doing back rolls and re-entry and stuff like that. So
It's actually we're able to access better dive sites doing tender diving down there. We do a lot of dives between the islands where the water gets a little choppy, and then on the outside of the islands where it can be very choppy, and keeping the yacht inside, in a calm bay. Makes it much more enjoyable for everybody that's when they're on board, and then we get to go out to the diving that we typically wouldn't reach with the tenders.
That's right. And sometimes when people see tender diving, they're going to associate current. We really didn't have any current. No. So it's just getting you over to a better spot with the just small little craft there, the tenders. But
right, yeah, and we every site we go to, we're tying up to a mooring. So you're going with a tender. So you're going down the mooring line, going out on the dive, and then coming back to the mooring line, back to the tender. So you don't have to worry about being out there with the tender free floating and trying to find it. So very easy diving.
It's very cool. Do you want to touch on Beyond the Reef and how those shipwrecks are down there in the BVI and what they're doing?
There's a nonprofit down there called Beyond the Reef, and we pay them for all of our divers to go diving on the wrecks that they've created. So they have the Willie T, which they've created into a little underwater pirate ship, which is very cool, with all out of rebar, pirate rebar, and they're fighting swords and Blackbeard's down there, and it's a very cool wreck to be on. Shark Plano is a dive site with 3 different planes from a past hurricane that were damaged, and they've did an amazing job creating them into a hammerhead, a nurse, and a reef shark, and very cool to dive those also. And all the wrecks have great reefs around them, so you spend your time on the wreck, and then you can finish your dive on the reef and with all the life there. So it's a great dive site.
Strategically placed in good spots like that. Yeah. And the money that this nonprofit is raising is using it for to local kids on the island, educational programs. I know one of them is teaching them to read. So it's been a really cool partnership, I guess we can call it, with those guys, and really happy to see that those guys are doing well and more stuff to come is what it sounds like. So
and then of course the most famous wreck down there is the RMS Rhone. That's in the channel from Salt Island, and the bow is pretty much intact, so you can penetrate the bow section. Then the rest of it's kind of scattered, but plenty of fish life. We had sharks on the dive. And we had seahorses. Every time we went down.
That's
there.
right.
So very cool.
That's right. That's actually my first seahorse. But you're right. There was a lot of fish life over there, and we saw a couple turtles throughout the week. It was a great trip. A lot of fun. Was there anything else you want to touch base on?
No, just happy to be here for our 40th anniversary, and look forward to our next Cup of Joe and an update for our guests.
Okay. Well, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you guys next time. Take care.
Thanks for tuning into the Inspired by Adventure podcast. We hope you enjoyed the show. If you haven't already, please subscribe through iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. See you next time.